a horrific orphanage, a horrific orphanage story really has come to the fore in Madhya Pradesh's Indore. A surprise inspection was conducted at an orphanage on January 12th. And that's when these tales of horror really started unfolding. The almost 21 children have given statements, and these children are between the age group of 4 to 14, and they have alleged that they were hung upside down, they were branded with a hot iron, tortured with red chili smoke, and photographed after being stripped naked. These are children between the age group of 4 to 14 who were staying in an orphanage in Indore, and who are supposed to be their guardians. If you're staying in a government-run orphanage, the state is supposed to be responsible for those children. A case has been registered under the Juvenile Justice Act and the IPC. The complaint also seeks charges under human trafficking and POCSO. 5 have been arrested. The children belong to multiple states: Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Odisha, and from Madhya Pradesh as well. This is the same orphanage that has branches in other places as well, including Bengaluru, Kolkata, Jodhpur, Surat as well. And I'm being joined right now by Dr. Sharanya Jaikumar, who is a child rights expert. Dr. Sharanya Jaikumar, my first question really is, and you have your experience in this field, but this is not a one-off case. As horrifying as this would be, there have been several such instances from orphanages across India despite strict laws. Does this happen because these children have no one to really go and fall back on?
See, first of all, we have to understand that these are children rescued from different situations. They're already traumatized. And when they come to a childcare institution, they come with a lot of hope that their life will get better after this. But it's very, very sad that such things are happening in few childcare institutions across the country. And here I think the mental health of the child is paramount, and this is definitely intolerable. If, as you very rightly said, this is not
Who is
just
responsible?
one incident.
Who is
in the
responsible?
country.
Of course, those who are running the orphanages have to be responsible. But does it end there? Who's responsible in such cases?
See, actually, there are a lot of private institutions like these across the country. And these institutions have to be registered under the JJ Act, and they are monitored by the District Child Protection Unit and the Social Defense Department of each state. So when these department officials go on visits, yes, they visit regularly, but many a times when they go on visits, these children are made to be very nice to them, say only nice things about the people who take care of them. So only such surprise visits can actually get the truth out. See, we have educated the children about child line.
Let me just interrupt you because you made a very important point. Visits need to be made to these shelters, to these orphanages, and it's important. But the truth remains, if you go to somebody's house, very unlikely when you are under the refuge of somebody, you will be, and particularly when you are children who are traumatized, you will be in a position to raise the alarm. In this case, great, at least a child spoke. And there was an official who went there for a surprise visit. But you rarely have cases like this where there would be a crackdown by the police and say, no, it's not just the orphanage, but it is the government responsible as well. It is the child authorities who are responsible as well. And then there would be arrests and cases filed against them as well. It rarely happens. The case would be closed after immediate action against immediate seniors involved. So there's also this whole misnomer of being shielded.
See, actually, these children are very much aware that these people who are taking care of them are in charge of everything there. And if we complain about them, will they be arrested or will I be punished for talking about this is still a question mark in the minds of these children. So basically, even for people who are running these homes, there is no deterrence, I feel. How many such cases were filed and how many such people who were arrested were actually punished by law? That is still a question mark, isn't it? Even in Tamil Nadu, recently, when I was the member of the State Child Rights Commission, there was such a case. There was a horror in a particular home, and we immediately took it to the state government, but not much action. I think the implementation of law is very, very slow when it comes to child care, child rights. Yes, there
So
are a
if
lot
there is
of
not much
authorities monitoring.
action, what happens then? What next? What
If
next?
there
If
is
you go to a particular authority, there is not much action, what next? What should be done?
See, basically, what happened recently is in a home, not just this home, in a home when something like this was found out. Yes, the case was filed on them, and then in a few days they came out on bail, and they went back to the same place, and they were running the same home. And the other children who were there, they were told that this particular child who spoke out will be punished, and the others can remain there. If anybody speaks about this anytime in future, they will also be punished. See, this is the reality. When the laws say, I don't say laws are not there. There are wonderful laws in the Juvenile Justice Act, but are they implemented properly? Is punishments being given properly? How long are these cases pending in court? All these are still a question mark. So at least leave alone the other cases. At least cases related to child abuse, to sexual abuse, to children, POCSO cases, juvenile justice cases. Handling these children. See, all this at least have to be faster in courts. I feel only then there will be deterrence in the society.
Right. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. The sad truth really remains this is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. If this was to happen to one of our children at our homes, our bloods would be boiling. It's unacceptable that this would happen repeatedly in a country like India, which is supposed to be protecting their children. There are systems in place, laws in place, so it's not the lack of them. It's just the sheer lack of will to ensure that there are safe spaces for our children.